not like you.
Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Municipality of Monroeville's reorganization meeting for 2020. It's January 6th, 7 p.m. I'd ask for all of us to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. This evening for this reorganization meeting, we have three council members we are going to be swearing in this evening. Eric Poach, Stephen Wolfram, and Robert Williams. We have in our presence the Honorable Magisterial District Judge Jeffrey Herbst. Judge Herbst, if you could please come up, and then Mr. Poach, if you could please join Judge Herbst for the oath of office, please.
Mom want to get up or what?
Come up too long. I haven't hold it.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Eric Poach,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and the laws, ordinances, and charter
laws, ordinances, and charter
of the Municipality of Monroeville,
of the Municipality of Monroeville.
and that I will discharge the duties of councilman with fidelity.
I will discharge the duties of councilman with fidelity.
Next is Stephen Wolfram from the 4th Ward.
Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Stephen Wolfram,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Monroeville. Oh, Pennsylvania, I'm sorry.
and the laws, ordinance, and charter
And the laws, ordinance, and charter
of the Municipality of Monroeville,
of the Municipality of Monroeville.
and I will discharge the duties of councilman with fidelity.
And I will discharge the duties of councilman with fidelity.
Mr. Wolfram, you're up here with us.
You don't sit back there anymore.
Robert Williams from the 6th Ward, please.
Raise
wanna get on the other
raise your
side of
right
the
hand
mic.
and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Robert P. Williams,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania
and the laws, ordinance, and charter
and the laws, ordinance, and charter
of the Municipality of Monroeville,
of the Municipality of Monroeville.
and that I will discharge the duties of councilman with fidelity.
And I will discharge the duties of councilman with fidelity.
Well, congratulations to Mr. Poach, Mr. Wolfram, Mr. Williams. And thank you, Judge Herbst, for coming out this evening.
Thank you. Give them a minute to move them on. Push the middle one back. The middle one? Yes, twist it, guys. Wait a minute.
That staple gun when you need it.
How's that look?
That looks good.
Thanks, Jeff.
Good job, Karen.
Our new officials are all seated right now. Could I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Griesbach.
Here.
Mrs. Gatos. Mr. Poach.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
Here.
Mr. Wolfram.
Here.
Mr. Arasenko.
Here.
Mr. Williams.
Here.
Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Mr. Little.
Here.
Mr. Ratcher.
Here.
Ms. Rock.
Here.
Mr. Hugus.
Here.
Mr. Sedlak.
Here.
Mr. Weldon.
Here.
And for the public, Mrs. Gatus would be here, but she's under the weather, so we wish her well to get better. I guess that bug's going around, so we wish her well.
Very good. And now we have an invocation by the Reverend John Patterson from St. James Fellowship. Reverend,
Take me to stand here.
that'd be great. Thank you.
It's a privilege to be able to give the invocation this evening as a minister of the gospel. I've come here in the past as a private citizen to speak on things occasionally. Thank you very much for the opportunity and the privilege to do this. Could we bow our heads and lift our hearts to the Lord? Almighty and merciful Father, we pray for thy blessing upon those sworn in as councilmen today. Mr. Robert Williams, Mr. Eric Poach, Mr. Stephen Wolfram, and those who will be appointed, Mr. Tim Little and Joe Sedlak, and the deputy mayor. Direct and dispose their hearts to administer good laws for the protection and the maintenance of the people and property of Monroeville. Fill them with a desire for truth. Give them wisdom. Remind them that they serve you as well as the citizens of our community, and help them to conduct themselves in the fear of the Lord. Grant them peace, even in times of disagreement. May they and those they serve remember that we shall all give an account on that last great day. We ask this in the name of Jesus Christ, the supreme legislator, the King of kings, and the Lord of lords. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. Council, I'm seeking a motion to elect a deputy mayor.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to elect Mr. Greg Arasenko as deputy mayor.
Second.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any comments, council? Roll call, please.
Mr. Poach.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram.
Aye.
Mr. Arasenko.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Congratulations. Deputy Mayor Arasenko, there are committee assignments. If you could discuss those, please.
Yes, I will. Council, there is a copy. I do have some changes that I'll give to Mr. Little, then he'll give everybody an update via email. But for Councilman Gatus, we have her on the Allegheny County Boroughs Association as an alternate, an MS4 project. She is one of the members of that committee. The Monroeville Municipal Authority and the Pennsylvania State Board of Delegates, PSAB, if you will. She is my alternate as well. Mr. Poach, we're going to have you on the Monroeville Foundation, the library, which meets third Monday at 8 p.m., Monroeville Trail Advisory Committee, the Civil Service Commission, and the Public Safety. And I thank you for all what you're doing for us. For Mr. Harvey, you're going to be on the Intergovernmental Cooperation Committee, which we meet with Gateway High School, usually about 3 to 4 times a year. You'll be on the Police Pension Committee. You'll be our chairman of the Public Safety Committee, and also chairman of our MS4 Project Committee. And also, I keep going there, Ron, I'm abusing you, Visitors and Convention Bureau, as well as the Finance Committee. For Mr. Wolfram, Steve, you're going to be on our 4th of July Committee, which meets monthly, our Public Works and Grounds Committee, our PSAB delegate as an alternate, and TRICOG, which is the Turtle Creek Valley Council of Governments, as an alternate as well. For the 6th Ward, Mr. Williams, you'll be on the Public Works Grants Committee as an alternate, Human Needs Board, Intergovernmental Cooperation Committee, which will meet with Gateway High School, and you'll be the official for the Turtle Creek Valley COG Committee of Council Governments. They do meet on a monthly basis. Mr. Wilson, you'll be on the Financial Policy Committee, the Non-Uniform Police Pension, or I should say Non-Uniform Pension Committee, I'm sorry. You're on the OPEB, which is the Other Post-Employment Benefits Trust Committee. You're on the Recreation Parks Board, which meets the first Monday monthly at 7 p.m., as well as the Intergovernmental Committee as an alternate and the Senior Center Representative. And I put myself on, as I have been, for the Allegheny County Boroughs Association, the Allegheny County League of Municipalities Board of Directors, the Intergovernmental Cooperation Committee with Gateway High School, and my newly appointed position starting this month was the State Boroughs Board of Delegates. Thank you for all what you do, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Council, I'm going to be seeking some appointments in front of you. I would like to seek a motion to appoint as our municipal secretary Timothy J. Little.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second to appoint. Any comments, council? Roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Arsenko?
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
The ayes have it. I'd like to seek a motion of the appointment of our open records officer of Joe Sedlak.
Motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram?
Aye.
Mr. Arsenko?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
I would like to seek a motion as our depository of funds, Huntington Bank and Pliggett.
Motion.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Any comments, council? Roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson?
No.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Arsenko?
No.
Mr. Wolfram?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
The ayes have it. And I would like to seek a motion as our primary newspaper for advertising as the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette Local Extra East section.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Any comments, council? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram?
Aye.
Mr. Arsenko?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
The ayes,
Mr. Mayor, may
the ayes
I?
have it. Absolutely.
On the primary newspaper, now that I'm in that new position with the State Boroughs Association, I'm going to push to see if we can get it, as we should, via email versus, it's so crazy expensive. It is like $700 to $1,000 each time we have to use that. It just doesn't make any sense, even if it's only 2 sentences.
Mr. Arasenko, I thought the state had a bill in front of them that was going to allow us to have an internet site that we could do our illegal
It
advertising.
hasn't passed yet. That's my job to help get that passed. So just want everybody to know I'm certainly working on that. It's one of the issues.
Floor yet?
No, it's still in committee.
That would save a lot of money, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. Council, for our 2020 Citizens Night agenda-setting meeting and council meeting dates, I would like to seek a motion to continue what we've been doing over the past several years, which are council meetings being the second Tuesday of every month.
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve that. Any comments? Deputy Mayor, if you want to, and also, we'll also hold the Citizens Night and agenda-setting meeting to be the previous Thursday as well, or you want to expand your
I'll
motion for
second
that?
that. I'm making the motion to approve that as
Second.
well.
Very good. Motion and a second to approve both of those items to keep our meetings the second Tuesday of the month for the council meetings, then our agenda-setting meetings the Thursday prior to that Tuesday meeting. So we have a motion and a second to approve. Any comments, council? Roll call, please.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram?
Aye.
Mr. Arsenko?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
The ayes have it. And is there anyone from the public that would like to comment just on our reorganization meeting this evening? or what we've discussed or talked about and what we voted on here in the past 15 minutes. Seeing none, we're going to close that part of the meeting and moving on to our remarks of officials. Mr. Poach, anything you would like to say this evening?
Sure. I appreciate the opportunity after being elected this time, from after being appointed. I'm succeeding you before, too. And I needed a moment to thank certainly those people that voted for me, as well as my sounding board and conscience, my wife, who has helped me immensely in the last 2 years, just on good old-fashioned common sense and the ability to slap me in the back of the head when necessary, figuratively speaking, of course, too. And I'm glad my mother was here this evening. Thanks, Mom, for doing that. My mother's sitting here, and her mother, an original Monroeville resident, so we're talking about 106 years or so ago, right, Mom? I think so, in place. It goes back to do that as well, and I'm glad my daughter's here, still home with us before she departs for her overseas semester in New Zealand in February, too, so before she goes away. So thanks for being here, too, sweetie. Thank you.
Very good. Mr. Harvey, any comments?
No, just I'd like to welcome and congratulate all three new elected officials, Eric Poach, Steve Wolfram, and Robert Williams, and look forward to working with you for the rest of the year.
Very good. Councilman Wolfram.
Yes, I'd like to thank everyone in the audience and, of course, everybody out there that voted for me. I hope to do a great job. Just getting back one thing we were so appointed to. I can't wait to get to the 4th of July thing. That's going to be a big bang. Okay? I love exploding things. But again, thank everyone for voting me. I hope to do the municipality well.
Very good. Mr. Arasinko.
Just want to say congratulations to our really 2 new members, and obviously with you, Eric, getting finally elected to the position. And I'm looking forward, as Ron said, to working with everybody up here. I think we have a great team, and 2020 is going to be a good year.
Very good. Mr. Williams.
I've been working at this a long time, as most of you know. And
Couple days, right?
Couple days. I want to take this time to thank my wife of 53 years for putting up with my many campaigns over the years. I want to thank my son, Todd, who's also been a help with the polls and what he could do. I want to thank my daughter, Nikki Urban, for her help with my many campaigns, and nobody knows we went through better than her. I want to thank the Honorable Jeffrey Herbst for swearing me in. I want to thank Reverend John Patterson for the invocation and his service to Monroeville, for his ministry to the senior community through the St. James Fellowship. Some of the places he ministers to is Arden Courts, Independence Courts, Woodhaven, Beatty Point, Concordia, UPMC East, and Forbes Hospital. So our seniors, keep them busy, and thank you for your service. Also want to thank the residents who came out and supported me with their votes. Those who did not vote for me, I'll gain your trust in the coming 4 years. For the write-in votes, somebody voted for Bugs Bunny, and I just want you to know, Bugs, you lost, I won. But that's the way it goes. I want to thank God for giving me the strength to walk the streets and knock on doors, talking with you, the 6th Ward voters. Thanks to y'all, Councilman Bob Williams, and that's my report.
Very good. Thank you. Mr. Wilson.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I'd like to tell Eric it's about time you're on the sky. And Steve and Bobby. I've known Bobby a long time, and I'm looking forward to working with everyone, and especially Steve and Bobby. Eric, you've been great. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. I'll echo the same thing. I want to, as my colleagues here, welcome to the dais here, Mr. Williams, Mr. Wolfram, and welcome back, Mr. Poach, my councilman. Looking forward to working with all of you, and a thank you to Judge Herbst and Reverend Patterson for the invocation this evening, and looking forward to 2020. So in a moment, I'm going to seek a motion for an adjournment, and what we're going to do is we're going to take just a 5-minute recess, and the celebration, that's all we're celebrating is 5 minutes, and then we're going to get these guys to work. Actually, we're going to roll right into our January Citizens Night meeting right after that 5-minute recess. So is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. We're going to be back in 5 minutes. I'm going to call to order the Citizens Night meeting of January 6, 2020. It is approximately 7:30 p.m. We just got finished with our reorganization meeting and had a Pledge of Allegiance prior to that. I'm going to open up the meeting with our Citizens Night. If there's anyone that would like to address council on any municipal matter, whether it be on the agenda or any municipal matter, now would be your time. Seeing none, we're going to close that portion of the meeting and move over to our agenda-setting meeting. Council, we have minutes in front of you of the Citizens Night meeting of December 5th, 2019, the council work session of December 5th, 2019, and the regular council meeting of December 10th, 2019. Any comments, additions, corrections? Seeing none, very good. Reports of our tax collections. Council, any questions or comments about those reports?
No, sir.
Very good. Seeing none. List of bills and budget transfers. Mr. Poach, we'll start with you. Do you have any questions this evening?
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Harvey?
I had 2 questions on the list of bills, and I forgot to bring them with me. So I'll ask them Tuesday.
Call me tomorrow.
Very good. It's a new year. Mr. Wolfram, any questions?
No, Your Honor, no, Mary, I do not.
Your Honor is perfectly fine. That's
No questions, yes.
You can, Your Honor.
I'll get there.
very good. Mr. Arcinko?
None, sir.
Mr. Williams?
No questions.
Mr. Wilson?
No, sir.
Very good. And the payroll report, council, any questions or comments?
None.
Seeing none, we're moving on. On Tuesday, we will consider our vacancies on boards, commissions, and authorities. And moving over to our consent agenda, we have new business 18-9-STR, Fox Plan Apartments, AR Building Company. The applicant is present. If gentleman or whoever is going to be presenting could come up, please. Mr. Little.
Yeah, applicant's requesting a site plan approval to construct 2 4-story apartment buildings with a total of 103,704 square feet and associated site amenities. This project was approved in 2018 for 1 building with a similar square footage. Property is located at the end of Fox Plan Road and known as tax parcel 856P331. The property was rezoned to R5 multifamily residential zoning district.
Thank you all, and congratulations to all the new members as well. My name is Jeff Campbell. I'm an architect with Rothschild Doino Collaborative. We're an architecture and urban design firm in the Strip District. We've been the architects for the prior iteration of this project. We're also joined by Jason Kambitsis, who's representing the owner, AR Building Company, on the projector back here, as well as Dave Nixon, who's legal counsel for AR, and also Ray Gusty from Fahringer McCarty Gray, who's doing the civil engineering for the project. We do have a quick PowerPoint presentation. I'll go through it relatively quickly. It's more for reference if we want to go back to it, but I thought I'd just bring that up if we could.
Very good. Joe, do you have the PowerPoint?
So at this point, hopefully everyone's relatively familiar with where the project is. It's at the end of Fox Plan Way, which is directly south of the hospital. Fox Plan goes by the hospital, it ends in dead ends. Currently, it's a residence. Go to the next slide. Basically, the Fox Plan dead ends into the site. The site here is located and shown on the red. It's actually a consolidation of 5 different sites, or 5 different lots, which are now consolidated. We had appeared about a year or so ago, I think it was November or December of 2018, with a prior plan. Since then, we've been doing a lot of site investigations, working a lot with civil engineers and soils engineers, and we found that there's some conditions on site that have made that prior plan pretty much unbuildable. So we'll show you what that is, and then we'll show what a proposed revision is as well. And then on that prior plan, we do have all the zoning. At this point, we fully comply, just as we did before. We have a table that compares all that, and we've reviewed it both with planning staff as well as at the planning commission level.
The road that's up there, is that Monroeville Boulevard or Fox Plan Road?
That is, so this is probably
Go
a better
back one,
graphic.
Yeah, that one.
Right, so that is Monroeville Boulevard on the south, and then if you actually go to the next slide, it's a little deceptive because Fox Plan Road goes by the hospital, dead ends here. It's
I see
a
it.
paper street that actually continues down to Monroeville Boulevard, but it's a 70 or 8 foot drop, and there's no actual road there, so it pretty much dead ends. As you can see, we tried to do, these are 10-foot contours, so each shade of green is another 10 feet, and it really drops off to the end of the site there. And originally, when we had done the original plan, go to the next slide, we had located the building at the edge of that site, and we were building up a retaining wall. We were going to keep the pad out there, and the idea was to create, really get the parking off in that northern area and push the building out and create what was effectively a 5-story building on one side and a 4-story building on the other side. So you came in on a 4-story and it came down to another 5th floor. What we found was the area that's circled here on the red, we actually ran into some really bad soils. And not only were they bad in this one location, but we found out the soil throughout the site was a lot wetter than we had anticipated. And so when we talked about the costs of exporting that off and bringing it back in, it just made the entire plan infeasible. So we literally went back to the drawing board and tried to come up with a solution to that. And that's what we're putting in front of you today. So this is a same unit count, 112 units, same general exterior materials. So we're using the red brick, and we've got the white vinyl in the areas as well. It's also elevated, so these are 2 buildings that are right next to each other. Both of them have two stairways that come into it, and then both have an elevator inside as well. Both are 4 stories, so instead of being a 4/5 story like we had in the original one, these are now 2 4 stories. So this is a quick aerial that we pulled together. As I explained at the Planning Commission, we actually just had somebody get their drone license, so we were eager to take use of it. So we did a combination of drone and a 3-dimensional model. So this model actually works as the construction documents as well. So this is one of the first times I can actually say this is exactly what it'll look like, because we've got the construction documents on top of an actual aerial photograph.
Great.
And then a plan shot of that as well. What you'll see is we do have these 2 buildings. We have a pool in the center. In the original, with our original iteration, there was some concern from one of the neighbors about the pool proximity, which was much further to the right on this plan, closer to some of the homes. We've now put this in between the 2 buildings where it'll be completely shielded from, or where the residences will be completely shielded from that. That pool also serves as a way of connecting the 2 buildings as well. So we'll have a commons area, a lounge, lobby type thing, and then a fitness area in the other building. And those will both kind of sandwich around the
What's
pool.
the difference in the colors there?
Those are different unit mixes. So the yellows are studio apartments, the blues are 1-bedrooms, and the oranges are 2-bedrooms. And then the grays are just common spaces. And then the next sheet also gives an upper floor plan, if that's relevant. In total, we are proposing 112 units. If you go to the next, the last 2 slides here do show the elevation. It's a little confusing because it's both elevations at once, so it kind of looks a little asymmetrical, but they're actually both designed to be symmetrical buildings. As we had talked about originally, AR Building owns their own properties. They maintain their own properties. They don't sell these, so making sure that this is something that will stand the test of time is something they're very concerned about. That's why they do like to use a lot of brick, and they use the vinyl on the upper floors as well. And then the last slide here, and this gives a view of the rear of those elevations as well. So with that, I guess open it up for questions. We also have, like I mentioned, a civil engineer if we want to talk about some of those specifics.
I do have one quick question then. So from the previous plan and this one, now all of the entrance is, the ground floor is the same entrance?
Correct,
There's nothing
it is.
below grade as there
Correct.
was in the last one?
Correct.
Okay, that's great.
And you might remember the question we had before, is your elevator's big enough to handle EMS?
Right, and it still is, yes.
That was going to be my question.
Okay,
Good.
good.
Yeah, because that was put, like you said, it was pushed up against the, where it drops off. Now it's going to be,
And now it's on a level area.
it's on a level area, because that was a question the last time. And also, just curious, what is a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom usually rent for?
Do you want to answer that, Jason?
Or do you, I mean, or you don't divulge that, or,
I think we talked about it before, Kyle.
just curious?
I'll come up.
State your name.
Hi, my name is Jason Kambitsis from AR Building, Kambitsis. Well, it's all market-driven. Places we have in other communities, they could stem anywhere from, 1-bedroom, $1,100 a month, $1,200 a month, and going up from there. I can't say what it finally will be here, but we're projecting something along those lines or more.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Do you have any other questions for me? because I can run that projector all night.
Counsel, you got him up there.
We
You got any
don't know yet.
Yeah, good. All right, great, thanks.
Thank you, Jason.
No, my question is then, you said you had the wet soil, because you had to change your whole project. Is there any issues with that at all?
No, not with this current plan. There were issues with the prior plan.
I mean, but no DEP issues, none of that stuff.
I can answer that. So, what happened was, the portion of the property that Jeff had identified in the circle, that actually was the wettest part. And we had 3 different contractors looking at the property in regards to doing the site work. One of them said, we could probably make it work. One of them said we couldn't, and another guy said they could. Well, the moisture level was just at a point where you could start questioning what you need to do. And as opposed to sitting there and taking a risk and having a building that we could have problems with, we thought the best thing to do is to come back. The building could have been built, but it really was not good for us or good for Monroeville. Anybody have a building that could have issues. So we liked the building. We thought it was a great building, but we thought this is probably the better approach to take. So.
If you remember, I toured with you guys your first go around.
What?
Down at where the project is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably don't remember me, do you?
I do remember you.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I remember. Yeah, I'm just
I had
saying.
a lot of questions back here.
I knew you did. I don't remember. No,
Unforgettable.
I thought you were going to say a question regarding that. You told us something about the water. Okay. Yeah. No.
Oh,
No. I remember all of it. Yeah, I remember walking the site. Oh yeah. No, I don't forget any of it. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Very good, Jason.
Thanks.
Counsel, any other questions for
Mr.
Campbell?
Mayor,
Yes.
one question is, why the cutout in the roof in the back of the building?
So we have condensing units that are on here, and rather than put them
Okay.
on the ground, we've actually decided, for a lot of the AR buildings, we found that aesthetically it just looks a lot better if they're up in that cutout rather than being surrounded.
Okay,
on the
and
ground.
they'll be hidden from the public?
They will, yeah.
Okay, second question is, on the bottom end of that lot, there's a retaining wall. And below that retaining wall, there's a driveway. Are you going to be using that driveway for an access?
Right now, we're not using that driveway.
Not using that driveway. Are you planning on shutting it off, the curb cutting that, or?
So this just came up, I think, we leave this vacated, is that, I would like to do it?
Ray Gusty from Farragut McCurdy Gray. We were just going to vacate it. We weren't going to do anything with it. It doesn't have there's no access to it up above.
Okay, now, that curb cut, will you cut that out and put a regular curb in it so people don't think there's an access there?
We could do that.
Hey, Ray.
That would be a good idea.
Okay,
Ray, can you put the plan up there and point that out?
So here's there's an existing concrete retaining wall down here.
Push it up a
You
little.
can push it up a little bit. Right?
Yeah, thank you.
There's an existing concrete retaining wall here, and then this is this driveway that came up. It came up into the site, but
Yes.
There's no need for it anymore.
okay. So you'll cut that curb cut out and put a regular curb in there and sidewalk work, whatever you have to do?
Yes, we have to replace, we're making our stormwater connection in that area anyway, so we'll have to
Okay.
tear out the existing sidewalk and replace it anyway. So we could put a new curb in at the same time.
That would be
And as far as that sidewalk's concerned, that's a felling sidewalk. The hillside come down, it's out on a sidewalk about 6, 8 inches. Plan on cleaning that up and even that grass strip between the sidewalk and the street. I mean, some of it looks pretty bad. I'd like to see that cleaned up and look presentable. How far down do you go? To the bottom of the hill?
I would say Pitcairn Road's probably
Okay.
down this way.
Okay, so the whole sidewalk would be your responsibility to clean up and make it look good. Okay, thank you.
And that falls in line with our active transportation plan as well, to try to
Okay.
improve our sidewalks and pedestrian access, so, very good.
Mayor, I have a question.
Go ahead.
I'm familiar with the area. I delivered the mail there around this area for 33 years. Is there an access to Northern Pike, Monroeville Boulevard there?
No.
No.
No, I didn't think so. I couldn't see one. I was just curious.
The road actually ended probably about here. There was the existing house and
Yeah, it's
driveway
103.
about here.
103 was.
And then, but this is too big of a drop. There's like 70 feet drop in there. You can't ever get a road in there. So.
Okay, good.
Council, any other questions for Ray or the developer? Very good. That's it for that portion. Council, we have our same project. Our next Item 18-11-C-CR, Fox Plan Apartments, AR Building. It's a conditional use. The applicant is requesting conditional use approval pursuant to Section 401-8 of the Monroeville zoning ordinance number 1443 is amended to permit a cut and fill operation totaling approximately 23,966 cubic yards of earth. The property is located at the end of Fox Plant Road in the R5 multifamily residential zoning district. Mr. Wielden, any issues?
No, it's been reviewed by our engineers, and any comments that they had have been addressed.
Very good. And once again, the Planning Commission also recommends approval of this item as well. So these two items will be considered on Tuesday. Council, any further questions about these two items?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Very good. Seeing none, we're going to move on to our third item, 19-6-SUB, the Gateway Engineers Incorporated. Mr. Little, please.
Yeah, applicant is requesting a preliminary and final subdivision approval of tax.
Before they leave. I have a question for them.
Oh,
You can see him in the hallway. But Tuesday, we'll have an opportunity to speak. Our comment period is over for this item, but there will be a comment period on Tuesday prior to the vote. Certainly, you could maybe talk to these guys now in the hallway. They might be able to answer any questions you have.
okay, applicant is requesting preliminary and final subdivision approval of tax parcel 639F775, parcel A. Applicant proposes to subdivide Lot 5, which is Key Bank, from existing parcel A. Lot 5 is to have lot area of .736 acres, and parcel A will be reduced to a lot area of 157.436 acres. Properties are located within the Monroeville Mall and owned by CBL Monroeville Partner LP in the C2 Business Commercial District. Planning Commission recommends approval.
Welcome, sir. If you could just state your name for the record, please.
I'm David Housley with Gateway Engineers.
Welcome, David.
So, as Mr. Little stated, they're wishing to subdivide Lot 5 off, which is the current Key Bank parcel.
David, I'm sorry. Could you slide that
Yeah,
towards
slide
me,
it up a little bit.
towards the microphone a little?
There you go.
For possible future sale. I know it seems like I've been here about every year in the last 2 years. Last year was for the 2 residential lots down along James Street, and then I think the year before that was the Best Buy property. I don't know if they've sold any of those off yet.
Could you orient us on your drawing, because I can't?
Yeah, so the 2 residential lots are these 2 right here at the bottom.
James Street. That's the
On
back,
James
back
Street?
entrance to the
Back
mall.
Street, correct. The Best Buy property is this parcel right here, and the current lot that they're wishing to subdivide is a Key Bank parcel on the front, right here. Have any questions?
Council? Mr. Wielden, any comments?
No, it's a very simple subdivision. All comments have been addressed.
Very good. Once again, the Planning Commission also recommends approval of this item as well. Council will consider this on Tuesday, next Tuesday. What's the date of?
January the
14th.
Tuesday, January 14th is our council meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. Council, we have 2 motions this evening. Mr. Little.
Yeah, first motion for next Tuesday is a motion to place a full page. I'm getting ahead of the curve here, Tom.
He wants
I'm trying.
He
A
wants
full
2 pages.
page advertisement in the amount of $150 in the program for the Gateway High School musical, The Drowsy Chaperone.
Very good. Any comments, council? Excellent. Mr. Little.
Tom?
I'd like to
don't want
congratulate
two
Mr. Little on having some foresight here and
You see, wonder why, Tom?
and getting around me making the motion to take the full page ad instead of a half a page ad.
He's
We
trying.
finally decided to take the full page ad.
Yeah, Mr. Little's trying to get the next ordinance approved. That's
Is
why.
that what it is? Okay.
All right. So, Mr. Little, next motion, please.
Okay, a motion to authorize to advertise an ordinance for a multi-stop sign intersection on Bay Hill Drive at Newberry Drive.
Any comments, council?
Mr. Hugus, this
Hugus.
is a result of the requested traffic study down in the Glenwood area, is that correct?
That's correct.
Any issues, Mr. Hugus?
No, sir.
Very
It's a
good.
2-way stop now. It'll be a multi-way stop.
Okay, thank you. Council, we have 1 ordinance this evening that I was referring to. Mr. Ratcher.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 2678, appointing Timothy J. Little as municipal manager of the municipality of Monroeville and establishing the compensation and benefits of the municipal manager pursuant to Section 701 of the Monroeville Home Rule Charter.
Any comments, council?
I don't know. What do you think, guys?
We have an entire week to consider it, so we'll find out on January 14th. Very good. Any other comments, council?
No.
Thank you.
None.
All right, moving on to our reports of municipal staff. Mr. Ratcher, anything this evening?
Nothing tonight.
Thank you. Mr. Little?
Surprisingly, no.
Thank you very
That's
much.
true.
Thank you very much. Mr. Hugus?
No report.
Ms. Rock?
Nothing.
Very good, thank you. And moving over to reports of council members this evening, Mr. Poach.
In addition to my comments, no, not at all. I believe Merry Christmas, Orthodox Christmas is tonight, tomorrow?
Epiphany, yeah.
Yeah, it's Epiphany's tomorrow. To do that to everyone else as well. And my hearts go out to paramedic that was killed in a traffic accident in Ross Straver. He's an associate, worked with him for a number of years at different projects as well, too. So I know we'll be sending quite a large contingent to that as well from the fire department the next week, too. So that's to Matt. That's it.
Thank you. Mr. Harvey.
We had a meeting with the residents concerning the flooding conditions on Logan's Ferry Road. In my opinion, I think the engineering firm and the other municipal employees did an excellent job. There were some unsatisfied residents, but we knew that was going to happen. I don't know how to satisfy everybody. But I thought everybody, including the engineering firm with their PowerPoint presentation, did a very good job in explaining the situation that causes that problem with the flooding waters down there at the bottom of Logan's Ferry Road. At the same time, I was very thankful at the end of the meeting, the residents that stayed around and gave me comment and gave the other officials comment on some of the ideas that were put up on the board by the engineering firm. I really appreciated their input. I think the meeting left us with a direction, and I will start working with some of the plans with the engineering department presented after that presentation was made. There is something that I asked Mr. Hugus to hold off until I made this report that he probably should inform you on. And the other thing that I wanted to tell council is that once we get moving on part of this solution, we will certainly bring it to you for your approval. And you might want to go back to Mr. Hugus.
Mr. Hugus, would you like me to go back to you?
On the meeting.
Oh, we're having a meeting.
The hell are you thinking?
Video games.
We do have a meeting with the DEP Thursday.
Oh, very good.
So
This
Thursday.
Thursday.
So we'll get somewhat of an update, if at all possible.
Yes, and that was something that was holding up some of the process
That's
here.
correct.
Very good. Thank you.
It'll give us some more direction.
Thank you. Good job. Mr. Harvey, anything else?
No.
Mr. Wolfram?
Nothing as of yet, Mayor.
Very good. Mr. Arasinko?
A couple of items. One is I agree with Eric. Condolences to that paramedic's family. So sad, so sad. Please be careful when you see them off on the side of the road, be it police, fire, or EMS. Please try, if you can't move over another lane, at least slow way down. It's a dangerous job what they do. And for all the members up here on council, including you, Mr. Little, and Mr. Ratcher, February 1st is coming real quick for the Allegheny County Bros Association dinner. Please let Mr. Little know if you plan on attending, okay? And under the state law, if your council member goes, the municipality does pick up that cost. If you want to bring your spouse, you have to pay for her or him. Yes, I got it. And it costs us $65. And then obviously, like Mr. Harvey, I forgot to bring some paperwork. I would like you to consider for Tuesday, and I'll get Mr. Little to put out the cost, to take an ad out in the Allegheny County Bros Association booklet, which, will come out in February 1st. A lot of those much smaller communities put ads in, and I would hope we would consider the same on Tuesday. And with that, again, congratulations to the new members, and that's it, sir.
This is the end of your term as the water buffalo, is it not?
Yes,
Water buffalo.
but not
You're moving
up
up,
to the
you're
state.
moving up, yes, you're moving up. to the- We have plans for
Bigger
that
hat.
as well.
Bigger Joel.
Bigger Joel.
What happens to
Thank
the
you.
headpiece?
No, there isn't any, don't worry
It's
about
gotta
that.
get, we have to get a white one
We
now.
gotta get a white one now and a gold state symbol.
Very good.
Terrible.
Mr. Williams, please.
I'm looking forward to serving the 6th Ward of Monroeville and Monroeville as a whole to make it a better place to live and bring more people into Monroeville with our services and our people. And the only other comment would be, God bless America and God bless Monroeville Municipality.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Mr. Wilson.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. First of all, I'd like to congratulate all the Holiday Lights Contest winners, and especially Ward 7, Dennis and Rose Reed at 615 Blueberry. You didn't win this year, Dennis and Rose, but next year, I'm sure there'll be more lights available, and we'll get more power over there on Blueberry for you. To the first responder, sad news. Those guys put their lives on the line every day that they're out there. And it's a sad day for everybody. It's not just for that Cross Traver area as well. That's all I have to say. Oh, wish everybody a Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you. And two items that'll be on Tuesday, January 14th's meeting is my annual State of the Municipality address as per the Home Rule Charter. And I will also have the honor of swearing in 3 of our new police officers that we have recently hired. And once again, welcome our new members.
Thank you.
Looking forward to working with you. Mr. Poach, welcome back. And looking for a very productive 2020 here in Monroeville. All these items we spoke about, we will be considering on Tuesday, the 14th. With that, I would seek a motion to adjourn.
Excuse me, Mayor. Mayor, you didn't ask for any public comments.
This is a Citizens Night meeting.
It's listed right in here, public comments.
Yes, this, what you have in front of you is the agenda for Tuesday's meeting. So what you have in front of you is actually what the actual agenda is for Tuesday. So even though it says it on there, that is for Tuesday's meeting. It might be confusing,
It
but
is dated tonight.
actually, the first page is dated tonight, but then if you move forward, it is on the first page says proposed agenda for January 14th. You'll have your time on Tuesday, the 14th.
It may be too late by then.
I would like to seek a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you and good night.